the wrong woman, and you feel it every single day.
Men are raised to believe that if they work hard enough, they deserve to enjoy themselves.
Here's the thing, men genuinely don't think that women will be happy alone because they are not happy alone.
He will marry out of necessity and cheat from sun up to sundown. An eternal bachelor will not stop being a bachelor even when he marries.
What happens when millions of men discover that bachelor life is actually more peaceful than they were told? Why are so many men in 2026 choosing freedom, hobbies, and self-improvement over relationships and marriage? And why does this shift seem to be catching so many women completely off guard? Stay with us till the end of this video, because this trend is changing modern dating culture faster than anyone expected.
You married the wrong woman, and you feel it every single day. You just won't say it out loud because you're a good man, and good men don't say that. So instead, you go to work, you come home, you do what's expected, and you quietly disappear inside of yourself. You used to have edge, a hunger, something that made you feel alive inside, and now you can't even remember the last time you felt like a man in your own damn house. She doesn't look at you the way that she used to. She doesn't reach for you anymore. She doesn't make you feel wanted. She makes you feel managed, like a problem she's learned to tolerate. And the sex? Oh my gosh. When it does happen, you probably feel like she's not really there, just going through the motions, right? And giving you just enough just to keep the peace and to keep you quiet, right? And you lie there after it's over, feeling more alone than if you've never touched her at all. But this is what you need to look at and talk about. It's not just the loneliness that's killing you. It's who you've actually become trying to survive it. Domesticated, sedated, unrecognizable to the man you used to be. You stopped dreaming. You stopped fighting. You stopped being you, because it's hard to grow when the person next to you makes you feel like you are literally nothing. Guys, the right woman will not and does not shrink you. She actually challenges you to become better, to become more. The right woman doesn't make you feel tolerated. She makes you feel chosen every single day. Every single day. Just know the difference between that. Stop pretending that you don't.
For years, society pushed the idea that men would eventually settle down because bachelor life was supposedly lonely and unfulfilling. But in 2026, millions of men are finding that living alone can actually bring more peace and stability than they expected.
I said it is not better or worse to have a family, have children. Maybe a guy wants to be a bachelor. Maybe a woman wants to be Oprah, call her daddy, whatever. And I said one isn't necessarily better than the other. Now, what did I mean by that? Obviously, we know that women that have family and children tend to have better relationship outcomes. The sooner they do that, and they tend to be happier. Like single women over the age of 45 have the highest antidepressant rates, right? So I'm not going to pretend there's no trends and patterns and things that I see in that regard. But the interesting thing that I saw when I interviewed so many people was that it didn't really matter what race, ethnicity, or background people had. People are people, regardless of religion, race, or social class. And some of the rudest or maybe meanest women I'd ever met were from a more conservative background. And then you would meet a OF model who is really kind, caring, and compassionate to everyone in the room. So it made me realize that people maybe aren't as black and white as I thought. So what we see now is an increase in femininity content. And there's a whole sector of YouTube dedicated to femininity. And during this journey, I guess, or you could say process.
What surprises many people is that these men don't look miserable. They're hitting the gym, building businesses, gaming with friends, learning new skills, and creating routines that make them genuinely happy.
Saying that if my fiance has a stripper at his bachelor party, we will not be getting married.
But why? I'm a stripper. What's wrong with that? And now that I got your attention, I'm just kidding. I'm a stripper in real life. I've been dancing for 4 years, and I've had countless bachelor parties where I've danced for the groom personally. A lot, like countless, literally. And I can confirm that it is not a thing that should be a tradition. I have explained this to anybody I've ever been with, that should never be a thing. I don't know why it's a thing. I don't know why it's so widely accepted. I don't know why females accept it. I personally wouldn't either. Although you'd be surprised how many true colors it would show if you could find out how he acted inside of the club, because you'd be freaking shocked. Stories I wish I could tell these women. But yeah, basically it's confirmed. It shouldn't be a fucking thing. It shouldn't be a tradition.
A lot of average men also became exhausted with modern dating culture. Endless expectations, emotional uncertainty, financial pressure, and constant competition for attention caused many to step back from relationships altogether.
Men are raised to believe that if they work hard enough, they deserve to enjoy themselves. Women, on the other hand, are raised to center themselves around self-sacrifice and service to others. I see this all the time in therapy, where men feel like they don't have enough free time, and women don't even think about the concept of free time. A man thinks, well, I worked hard all week. I deserve to watch the game and have a few beers and hang out with my buddies. A woman thinks, yeah, I worked hard all week too, but the laundry's got to get done, dinner's got to get cooked, the groceries got to get picked up. The demands of daily life don't stop just because you're tired. This is largely why women end up doing the bulk of domestic labor in most households, even though they work just as many hours as the men do. This conditioning starts young. Girls, on average, are assigned way more chores than boys. The truth is, men are right that they deserve to rest after working hard enough, and women are right that things still gotta get done even when you are tired and you've worked hard all week. Rest and self-care are important, no matter who you are, but there are also times in life when we don't get the kind of rest we need. But if men can learn to share responsibility more equally, everyone will benefit. Because if women aren't working themselves past the point of burnout, they'll be happier, and they'll make you happier. Relationships work best when both partners feel equally supported. But the programming runs deep. It has been instilled in us since birth. We can't change how we were raised, but we can change what we do with the values we were raised by, and whether or not we want to expand beyond those values. And whether or not we want to adapt to the modern times that we live in, and not some fantasy of a bygone era that maybe never even existed to begin with.
And once a man experiences life without that pressure, something changes. He starts protecting his freedom. No emotional roller coasters. No constant need for validation. Just peace, routine, and control over his own life.
Here's the thing, men genuinely don't think that women will be happy alone because they are not happy alone. Has anybody ever seen the statistics about how women who are single live longer than men who are single? And that's primarily because women are responsible for the majority of the emotional, mental, and sometimes physical labor in a relationship or a family dynamic. I've been having this ongoing conversation with one of my guy friends, and he knows that he is actively settling for the girl that he's dating. He said to me the other day, yeah, there's gonna come a time when you're gonna have to settle. I said, settle? For what? I don't need a man. Like, of course I want to have a relationship and a family and all those things, but at what cost? Like, we've all watched our mothers and our grandmothers slave away in these relationships for a man that doesn't really care about them, or maybe was even settling. I would rather be alone. But men truly believe that women are unhappy if they're single, because they refuse to acknowledge the fact that they are a main reason why we are miserable. Why we're miserable in relationships. Why do you think women are the ones who leave marriages? Because we're chronically unhappy with men who don't value us, who take us for granted, and who will admittedly and actively settle for us. No, thank you.
Social media accelerated this shift. Men constantly see examples of relationship drama, failed marriages, and emotional burnout. As a result, many have become more cautious about where they invest their time and energy.
He will marry out of necessity and cheat from sun up to sundown. An eternal bachelor will not stop being a bachelor even when he marries. I need you to really take that in. An eternal bachelor will not stop being a bachelor even when he marries. So many men, unfortunately, alarmingly, depressingly, actually marry out of necessity because they want kids and they know they need a wife to have kids, to at least be respectable. But they also go into their marriage with absolutely no intention of stopping their bachelor ways. They're just going to hide them. As a matter of fact, through the engagement and relationship they've probably been carrying on the whole time. There are some men out there that just are not wired for monogamy, don't have the maturity for monogamy. Take your pick, but they're never going to be monogamous. But they also can't be honest with themselves and other people that they need to be in a non-monogamy, open relationship type of situation. They're going to tell themselves like, yeah, I'm going to try. But they really don't try that hard. They give up very easily. They fold, they go belly up really easily, and they just continue chasing tail. And the thing is this, you actually can tell who those men are going to be because you pay attention to past history. Past history is the best predictor of future behavior. If this is a guy who had sowed his wild oats in his 20s and 30s, you think he's all of a sudden going to stop, that he's had his fill? No, this is a guy who enjoys the strange, like they like to say. They need a variety. If they liked having a bunch of different women in their 20s and 30s, they're going to like having a bunch of different women in their 30s, 40s, 50s, etc. That's just how they are. If you know that they have cheated in past relationships on girlfriends, they're cheating on you, and they're going to continue cheating on you as long as you have them in your life. All of these things are tells. I don't care what they say. I really don't care what they say, unless they are saying that they've reformed their ways and you know that they have gone to therapy for a long time and they continue checking in with a therapist to keep themselves accountable and honest and work through their shit. And we know that's not a lot of men. So if he was a swinging bachelor, just know he's going to continue being a swinging bachelor regardless of that ring on his finger.
What frustrates some women the most is that these men no longer seem desperate for companionship. They're comfortable alone and don't view being single as a problem that needs solving.
I just had my first experience of what it would be like to be in a male locker room, and it provided me the fuel that I didn't really need, but now I have, to stay single for even longer, because I am taking my dog on our evening walk, and I live in Scottsdale, Arizona, which attracts a lot of bachelor parties. There's a ton of Airbnbs, so I walked by an Airbnb where the backyard is not fenced in, but like walled in with cinder block walls, which I feel like is normal here in Arizona, but I don't know. And that gave me the pleasure of essentially being behind like a double mirror, where they don't know that I'm here, but I can hear them, and we can't see each other, but I can hear them. And they were, just talking, I would assume how men talk to each other in the locker room, and specifically talking about women. Some guy was bragging about girls that he had hooked up with. Just the mere language that I heard for 20 seconds alone was truly enough to be like, yeah, I'm actually like completely good on that front. It was just more proof that sex is not something that they have with us, it's something that they do to us, and it was a hard listen.
Many bachelors are now focusing on fitness, finances, side businesses, hobbies, and personal goals. Ironically, the less they focus on dating, the more confident and fulfilled they seem to become.
The happiest women are single women. It's a statistical fact.
If we know that men are less happy post-divorce, couldn't we assume from that there's some level of remorse on things they could have done or should have done to preserve the marital relationship? And that is where I come in. Where I come in is fix the problems, fix the mistakes before it's too late. If we know post-divorce you're going to be unhappy, clearly you want to still be with your wife. Let's figure out a way to help you do that.
Every single time a man thinks he did something, he's done absolutely nothing. 90% of bread schmill content is plain common sense. Feminists can't be bothered to actually listen to what the bread schmill guys are saying. So go ahead, keep acting like entitled hoes who bring nothing of value to a relationship, and keep asking yourself, where are all the good men? Men didn't change, you did, for the worse, and we don't want you anymore. Men didn't change, you did. We know. That's what all of my content is about. Men haven't changed. They haven't moved out of the dark ages. They're dinosaurs, and like dinosaurs, they will go extinct. Men refuse to change. They won't even try to keep up with women who are evolving quickly, who are running circles around men and realizing in their evolution that patriarchy has sold us a lie. And we're realizing as we evolve how little we actually need men in our lives, and how we can pay for services, and how we can pay for donors, how we can extract resources from men fairly, and then go on about our lives without them. Men are only saying that women have changed for the worse because it creates a worse situation for men that women have changed, because now men can't tap women for endless resources. Women are creating a magnificent lives for themselves, and men are creating a whole bunch of nothing but loneliness. They're not even getting the opportunity to carry on their family name, which means that they're realizing their entire life is completely irrelevant. They have come here, they've existed, taken up space, resources, and oxygen, and done absolutely nothing. Whereas women are building community, they're creating beautiful lives for themselves and for other people. They're helping other human beings. What men will never ever admit is, as they sit on the sidelines and watch this better world that women are creating, men are full of envy that women did it ourselves, we did it for ourselves, and men don't get a single part of it. They still want us. They don't want to evolve to catch up with us, and that's what they're mad about.
The biggest twist is that this isn't some organized movement. Men are simply participating less in dating culture and quietly finding happiness elsewhere.
One of the more embarrassing things to come on the internet and see is that Utah Bachelor's trip, or whatever the fuck it's called, because you got the internet to come together to push out a video about men trying to cheat on their wives and girlfriends during a bachelor party. And it gets pushed to the point where the wives do see it and they comment. This is so embarrassing, in my opinion. It's so embarrassing. But the wives, the first one to comment was a wife that was like, my husband of 2 months was just in Utah on a bachelor party. He had friends like this, basically giving details to try to see if it was her man. The creator basically said it was your man. Now, at the time when I first saw this video, that's all I saw. But I recently got updated on this, and now I'm highly embarrassed. Again, I'm going to keep saying it. It is so embarrassing. Because since the initial wife left her comment, we have gotten other wives' comments. And basically, they all don't care. They're all excusing it. Like, there was one woman who was like, we have an open marriage, right? And people were like, okay, cool, he didn't cheat on you. It was weird he was telling other women he's single, because being single is not the same as being in an open marriage, right? She was sitting there acting like she didn't understand what people were saying, but I understand what people were saying. That wife, again, is just being defensive. You had another wife that got on there and basically was like, just because my husband talked to you doesn't mean he was trying to hook up with you. I hope this helps. Embarrassing. And then that first wife who made the comment, who was surprised to even see the video, decided to comment an update, a huge long update, where she basically said, I wasn't surprised. He came home and they all independently told us what happened, and we knew what was going on because the bride like orchestrated the bachelor trip anyway, and they were just boys being excited to talk to girls, you know, on a boys' weekend. Like, none of us are filing for divorce, none of us are arguing or fighting over this, nobody's mad. Like, we all love our husbands and they're all good people, because I've known my husband and all his friends or whatever for over 10 years. Like, you guys don't know them, everything's good. Again, embarrassing. Literally so embarrassing. Imagine having the internet come together. You're getting women to come together. Basically like, you know what? We're going to stand up to these guys. We're going to help these women find out what they've been trying to do on this trip, thinking that their wives and girlfriends won't find out. Just for the women to be like, oh, we don't care. We love him and he loves me. And that's my husband. I'm going to stay beside him. Okay, cool. This was a useless fucking TikTok drama, but like, because like, why would y'all just sit there and take it like that? Embarrassing. Once again, embarrassing.
Now many people are noticing something unexpected. The men who were once told they'd be miserable alone often seem calmer than ever. And that reality is changing how many view modern relationships.
I don't have nothing to look forward to no more when it comes to relationships. And I don't care when people are like, oh, you're being dramatic. Oh, I don't want to date anymore. I'm probably never going to date anybody seriously again. I'm probably never going to be in a serious relationship again. I just realized that men, y'all don't like women. Y'all don't like black women. Y'all only like us when we're naive, when we're not taking care of ourselves, when we're not loving ourselves, when we're not understanding what our worth is. We, as women, we're doomed. Like, we're doomed. And I'm at a point right now is either you get with the program or you stay in denial. And I'm at a point right now where I'm just going to get with the program, because let's not sit here and act like that I'm going to find true love. I'm going to find my person. I'm going to be in a happy, healthy relationship. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, because if we're being honest, I just feel like the more I think about relationships, I just think about how I just don't trust men. I feel like men are predatory. I feel like men just want to use us. I feel like men are only with us for convenience. I feel like men are only with us because we help them boost their ego, their self-esteem. We improve their life, all of the above. And I'm never going to get anything that I dish out to a man in return. So I'm just going to accept the fact that it's over for me. I've been accepted the fact, but just as the days go on, there's literally no hope. And it's sad, because I really wish it wasn't like this. Like, I'm also just too self-aware. And I know that the generation that we're in, the times that we are in, men are showing themselves 100%. They are not holding back. We see who they are. It's either up to me to ignore it or be honest. And I'm going to be honest with myself. It's not happening. So I'm just going to enjoy this life alone, being healthy, being single, enjoying my rent, my peaceful home, and, you know, my career. And I'm just going to act like they don't exist, because at this point, men don't exist in my world. And we're never going to exist in theirs, at least the way that we deserve.
So here's the real question. Are men avoiding relationships because they're giving up on love? Or because they've discovered that peace and freedom can be just as fulfilling?
Men stopped playing by the rules, and now everyone's freaking out. Let's break down why silence has become the loudest move.